Besides reusing our head content inside of a component, we also might have certain head settings that should be the same across all page components. So we don't want to copy and paste it into every single page component. Now we could solve this by outsourcing it into a separate file, into a separate component, and then importing that into all the page components and using it there. But we can also use another approach. Next.js has this _app.js file, and it also has another file which we'll be able to utilize. Now let's understand what the idea behind those files is before we dive into them. The _app.js file is your root app component, which in the end is rendered for every page that is being displayed. This component here, which is received through props, this actually is the actual page component that should be rendered. My app, this component here, is rendered by Next.js, and this component prop will automatically be set by Next.js, so you don't need to do anything for that. But then you can utilize this _app.js file such that, as we're currently doing it, you wrap your page content with other components. Like here, I'm wrapping the layout component around the page component to give all pages the same layout, so the same navigation bar, for example. So that actually is a file which we are already utilizing. And of course, therefore, we could also import head here from next head, import it into this app.js file, and then add head here to set some generic setting that applies to all our page components. For example, we could add another meta tag here with a name of viewport, and then a content of, let's say, initial-scale equals 1.0, comma, width equals device width. This would be a meta tag which is often added to pages to ensure that the page is responsive and scales correctly. And we therefore typically want to add this to all our pages, not just to some. So that would be a great example for some head tag, some head element, which you want to add to all pages, but which you of course don't want to copy around manually. Therefore, we can add it once in this app.js file, and if we do so, we see that if I reload this events page, for example, and I inspect my rendered page, then here this viewport name is part of this page. So that works. Now this is applied to all the pages by setting it up once in this _app.js file.